I'm not playing the race card, I'm playing the reality card.
Texas lawmakers today call on their colleagues to act. An impassioned plea after another fatal police shooting of a black teenager.
And crude comments on Twitter about the winner of a scholarship pageant at UT, how she's responding tonight. Good evening, everyone. At the Capitol today, lawmakers want less talk and more action when it comes to officer-involved shootings.
The call to action in response to the death of 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, who was shot and killed by a police officer in Balk Springs, a town east of Dallas. KVUE political reporter Ashley Godot is live at the Capitol. Ashley, Jordan's death has really hit a nerve.
Mike and Quita, this was a teenager who was seemingly doing everything right. He was in a car driving away from a party and police when an officer used a rifle to shoot into that car, killing him. But lawmakers say this is a scenario, a problem we see all too often, especially for black people, and it has to stop.
Jordan Edwards was the face of promise, a good son, freshman honor student, football player. So much potential that will never be realized.
As I thought about the life of Jordan, I thought about my own two grandsons.
Last Sunday, Jordan was at a party in Balk Springs. The police were called.
You had innocent young men in a car who were trying to leave a party where gunshots had occurred. Mr. Oliver, in violation of every police protocol possible, raised a high-powered rifle to the car as it sped away from him and shot wildly and blindly, but in a deadly fashion, into the car.
Jordan, sitting in the passenger seat, was shot in the head.
Jordan Edwards bled out in front of his brothers. And then, without remorse, his brothers weren't consoled. They weren't helped. People did not come to their aid. Instead, they were put in cuffs.
The now former officer, Roy Oliver, lied, saying the car was backing out towards him. After watching the body cam and dash cam video, the police chief fired him.
There's not a person in this room or the sound of my voice that would think that this would occur in an Anglo community. I'm not playing the race card, I'm playing the reality card.
And the truth of the matter is, people who look like me don't have to have the same types of talks with our kids.
And that's why lawmakers say the investigations by the Dallas County Sheriff's Office and DA are good, but not enough. At the time of this press conference, the governor, lieutenant governor, and speaker of the House had been silent on Jordan's death.
But this House and this legislature and our entire state leadership needs to do so much more. It's not simply enough to send our thoughts and prayers. We need action.
With less than 4 weeks left in the session, lawmakers say the Sandra Bland Act and other bills addressing criminal justice reforms need to be voted on.
There is nothing that we're doing in Austin, Texas, in terms of the legislature that is more important than eradicating this disease that is taking out these young, unarmed black men whose only crime seems to be being black.
Now, after that news conference and after the media requested, the governor and leaders of the chambers released statements. All offer their condolences and call for full investigations. The Speaker of the House added he will work with lawmakers to prevent similar tragedies. Live at the Capitol, Ashley Godot, KVUE News.
Members, there are 20 ayes, 11 nays to concur on Senate Bill 4. The motion is adopted.
And with that, the state Senate last night sent SB 4 banning so-called sanctuary cities in Texas to Governor Greg Abbott for his signature. And today, a response from Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez, whose policy on honoring ICE detainer requests at the county jail earned the county sanctuary status with the governor. She says, quote, "I am disappointed because this is not in the best interest of public safety. It ties the hands of our law enforcement agency and pushes victims of crime into the shadows. While I hate seeing a state law like this come to pass. I have always followed the law, and that will not change. Now, if the bill becomes law and Hernandez does not change her policy, she could face criminal charges and be removed from office, and the county could face fines of up to $25,000 per day. Well, a new report from federal investigators reveals new details about the moments leading up to this crash, the one that killed 13 people. A pickup crossed the center line of Highway 83 in Uvalde County and hit a church van carrying members of the First Baptist Church in New Braunfels. The NTSB report out today says investigators analyzed this video showing the 14 minutes leading up to the crash. In it, they say the driver of the pickup veered over the white line on the shoulder 37 times, drove into the grass 5 times, crossed the center yellow line 19 times. He admitted to NTSB investigators he was checking his phone for a text message when the crash happened. He also said he had been taking prescription medications. Toxicology results are still not back yet. The driver has not been charged.
For the second year in a row, UT will have a recently murdered student to remember at the annual UT Remembers ceremony. Harrison Brown was killed in the stabbing on campus Monday afternoon. UT confirms to KVUE he will be part of the previously planned memorial tomorrow. The event pays tribute to any current students and current or retired faculty who died in the past year. Last year's ceremony came about a month after the murder of freshman Haruka Weiser, the first murder on UT's campus in 50 years. There's a difficult discussion happening online tonight after the Miss Black UT pageant earlier this week. The eventual winner, contestant number 5, Rachel Mallinson. But Twitter lit up with comments like, "She's not black," and biracials are not black. It started quite a conversation about how we see race.
KVUE Aaron Jones talked to the pageant winner today about her experience.
Rachel Mallinson is biracial, half white, half black, but says because of her skin tone, some people don't recognize that. She entered this pageant to feel more empowered as a black woman, but says after winning, she was met with some criticism she didn't expect.
Contestant number 5, Rachel.
It's a moment she never expected to have.
I remember texting my sister before, and I was like, honestly, I don't even think I'm going to place.
Last Sunday, Rachel Mallinson was crowned Miss Black University of Texas.
I immediately was just like, oh my gosh.
But the feelings of excitement started to fade after these photos were posted on Twitter.
And someone literally personally asked me, are you black? Can you prove it to me? And I was like, yes, my dad's black and my mom's white.
Members of the Iota Delta chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, a predominantly black fraternity, say they have 2 qualifications for entering their annual scholarship pageant.
You have to be a woman and you have to have some African American in your heritage.
I don't fit the stereotypical look that you would think a black person would fit.
And Mallinson says the avalanche of tweets she got because of it got so bad she had to delete Twitter off her phone.
This one guy, he said, kind of sad that the black community didn't have the brass to limit the pageant to only women that looked black.
We asked UT psychologist and professor of African Studies Kevin Coakley what he thinks is driving these types of responses.
People of African descent who are more phenotypically black, if you will, have not gotten positive messages about their looks. And there are just too many examples to count.
And says he thinks some people on social media look at Mallinson's win as reiterating this. Mallinson says she wants people to know she won the title based off her hard work and not her color.
I want people to be able to break away from those stereotypes.
And tells us this experience has given her a bigger platform to share those thoughts. Mallinson is graduating this month with a degree in journalism and a focus on diversity in the media. She says she plans to take what she learned here at UT and incorporate it into her future career. Aaron Jones, KVUE News.